There are many reasons why Stanley Kubrick's take on Stephen King's The Shining is considered a masterpiece by most cinephiles. Its use of classical music to ratchet up the tension, the constant roving camera thanks to its employment of the newly developed Steadicam, the enormous hand-built sets that help to invoke the feeling of isolation, the unhinged performance from Jack Nicholson coupled with the hysteria of Shelley Duvall, not to mention striking images which linger in the mind long after the credits have rolled. But, for me, the thing that truly makes this film a masterpiece and a classic of the horror genre is the way that all of these things are combined together to tell us a story about the nature of evil. The film looks at evil from two different angles. One of these is spiritual, something akin to a demonic force, as represented by the Overlook Hotel, and the ghostly apparitions that inhabit her rooms and corridors. The other angle is worldly, otherwise known as the heart of man, represented here by the character of Jack Torrance. You see, this isn't a story about a good man who goes insane whilst being trapped in isolation. Rather, it's a story about a bad man, a man who is emotionally abusive to his wife and whom has even been physically abusive to his son. This is a man who sees his new job as caretaker of the Overlook as not just an opportunity to work on his new book, but also a chance to distance himself from his own family. We see this early on in the film, before the family reach the hotel, in which Torrance can't help but show disdain for both wife and child.
It's okay. I saw it on the television.
The reason that Jack goes insane once they get to the Overlook is precisely because he is weak-willed. He is a man who lacks moral conviction. This is also the reason he's so quick to put a smile on his face when he first encounters what he believes to be an attractive naked woman in room 237. His first thoughts here are certainly not towards his wife. The very car that Torrance is driving at the start of the film when he's on his way to be interviewed for the caretaker position should clue the more observant viewer into Jack's character. The colour of the car is yellow. Yellow is symbolic of optimism, something that Jack is surely feeling as he thinks about his future for the next few months inside the Overlook Hotel. Yellow is also the colour that represents creativity, clearly befitting a writer such as Jack, as well as logic. Jack dismisses any notion of the supernatural to his wife, even after he comes face to face with it. However, yellow is also the colour that represents someone who is cowardly, egotistical, deceitful, and lacking in compassion. All traits that Jack at some point in the film displays towards his family. The film uses the spiritual and worldly forces of evil, the Overlook and Jack, to tell a very similar tale to that of Adam and Eve and their dealings with the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Like the serpent in that story, the Overlook Hotel is constantly whispering evil thoughts into the mind of Jack Torrance. And like Adam and Eve, Torrance is too weak-willed to resist, setting him on a course of self-destruction. Unlike the story that we find in the pages of Genesis, however, Kubrick does not attempt to give us an answer to the problem of evil. The film leaves us, the viewers, to seek those answers for ourselves. Its main concern is to show the audience that while evil may exist in the spiritual realm, we need look no further than the heart of man to find it.